Hello everyone. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to use threat intel services in Fortigate from the third party. So the use case is, let's say you want to subscribe to the third party threat intelligence services, and you want to use those feeds into your Fortigate in order to prevent your users or maybe your servers from the malicious IPs or malicious URL or maybe the malicious hash that you want to block it. So this is my demo environment where I have built up a lab on Azure, where you can see that I have an external subnet, an internal subnet, and I've got one of the VM. And then there's a threat intel services, which I'm going to use in my demo environment. Idea of this demonstration to show you if any malicious IP addresses which is being published onto this threat intel platform. It may be any third-party threatened platform. You can also use the Fortigate IOC itself services, or maybe if you have your SOC services where you're combining the threat intel services from the multiple sources, that also you can use it, and then you can keep on updating your threat intel services. Fortigate can simply use these services and ingest the feeds which is being updated onto this threat intel platform. Maybe let's say you have a sole environment, or from your internal resources you are getting a log, you're doing the correlation, and all of those threat intel you are putting onto the platform. Idea is I'm going to show you how can you ingest those threat intel feeds onto the Fortigate. Let me just move back to my demo environment. This one. Okay, so here is the PC which is behind a Fortigate. I have logged into the Fortigate firewall. First thing what you need to do is, once you log into the Fortigate firewall, you just need to go to the external connector, and you can create a connector here. And you can see that there are multiple options is available under the thread feeds. You want to use the FortiGuard category base itself. You can use the IP addresses. You can use the domain name, MAC address, or the malware hash. In this demonstration, I am going to show you the IP address thread feeds, how you can use it. So here is one of the open source threat intel feeds, which I am going to show you just for the demonstration purpose. Let me refresh this page. Okay, and now what I've done is, I've taken this one of the IP addresses, which is the malicious IP, I believe so, uh, from this particular portal, which is saying this one. And you can see that I'm able to ping it. So let's say if the user is able to reach to this malicious IP address, the intent is how we can block it automatically. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this threat intel, and whatever the IP addresses being published on this particular platform, all of them automatically get ingested into the Fortigate, and then Fortigate is going to block them automatically. Now what happens in many cases, these IP addresses remains malicious for a certain time. So in case if they got benign, then from your SOAR platform or whatever the other automation tools you're using, you can keep on updating based on the reputation of those IP addresses. So maybe let's say this IP address is malicious today, maybe it may not be malicious tomorrow, right? So you do not need to make any changes onto the Fortigate. You just keep on updating your threat intel platform, and automatically Fortigate is going to fetch uh, these IP addresses changes. You do not need to make any changes into the Fortigate. You do not need to create an address, object, group, policies. No need. So let me start the demonstration now. So the first thing, you go to external connector, you go to the IP address feed, and here you're going to define the uh, name. So let's say uh, as external. Okay, maybe let's say threat intel. Okay, this is open source. So okay, so let's say ta-os threat intel open source, and simply what you need to do is you just need to take this URL and you can just put it here. In case if this platform required the authentication, then you can use the authentication as well. In this case, there's no need. And then here is the refresh rate. So every 5 minutes, Fortigate is going to poll the IP addresses from that particular URL, and it is going to ingest within itself and going to block it. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do. Is just say okay, you can modify the time as you need. Just say okay, and your connector is ready. Now the second stage is, what you need to do is you just need to go to the policy, and then you're gonna create a policy here. So let's say in my case I want to block it from outside, from inside to outside. So my incoming interface is remain going to be port 2, and the port 1 is my external WAN side of the interface. And let me give it a name. So name is, let's say, that Intel malicious IP block, for example. And then in the source I'm going to use my source subnet. In this particular case I should have the Azure VNet, so I'm using the entire subnet here. And in destination you can see that whatever the object of the thread feed I've created, I can use that here. uh, yes, and then I can say deny, and regardless of the service I'm going to say it's any, um, and then we already say deny. Yeah, that's it. And maybe we can also say the log violation should be logged. Just say okay. And now what I have to do is I have to move this rule to the top so that it can match before my internet rule, right? And now I'm expecting that this ping should drop, because it should have taken the threat intel from the platform. And you see that I have not blocked any specific IP address, and automatically it's blocking the IP address here. Now tomorrow, let's say if this IP address, which is 148, becomes benign, if it is not malicious, and your if it is your own homegrown Threatintel platform, then your SOC team can update these IP addresses, or they can just remove this IP address and it will become green. You do not need to make any changes here. So it's very easy and operational handy, and also it's not going to put a load onto the Fortigate itself in terms of creating the number of objects and IP addresses, and you do not need to do the exercise of cleaning the object. Typically what happens is you just keep on creating the IP addresses or the objects, but you forgot to delete them. So I think that's it. This is one of the best idea. You can use the Fortigate threat intel service uh, uh, from the external connector. Thanks for watching.